everyone, it's Casey. Welcome back to the dark days of Oregon. Got my light on, it's the middle of the day, pitch dark in my house. So we have another repair on the table, and as I get the box open, I want to remind you, as always, please, if you like my videos, please click the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't. It helps my channel get seen and grow. So this doll, of course, has an eye mech problem. She also wanted me to change her eye chips or give her eye chips. I don't know if she already has some in. She already selected her eye chips. They're here. Have them ready to go. But this is sort of an issue that I have not had yet, which is that one of the eyes is droopy, is basically how I understand it. So here she is. She's super cute. I don't know anything about the artist like usual. So it's not super obvious, but basically this eye, the eyes are just not symmetrical. One is sort of going in farther than the other. She does have pretty basic lids in a gold color, so we may have to change the mech. What I wanted to do was take her apart and have a look at the mech and see if maybe the eyeballs were taken off and not put back on correctly, is what I'm thinking. So we're gonna go ahead and take her apart since we want to get her eye chips out anyway. And I can't really tell, but the chips look like they're sticking out a little bit, so they may be glass. I'm not sure if they came with the doll when she bought her or if she has added them later. So let's open her up. I'm a little concerned that she has beads going up so high, so hopefully we don't have to disturb her strings. Looks like she kind of has hard to get out screw, so we might change those if we need to. So let's get her out, or let's get her open, I should say. I'm actually gonna get a mech and we're gonna look at it and make sure everything looks correct. It's hard to just look at it and know. So let's get a mech and take a look. Alright, so lining them up, it doesn't necessarily look to me like anything is off. I did see the photos of the doll when she sent them, and it did look off in her photo, but now looking at it here, it doesn't look that off to me, or it doesn't really look like anything. I guess it is slightly. So when you hold it, you can see that this eye chip is going down inside farther. It's pretty subtle, but it is there. And as far as if maybe things are put together wrong, I don't see anything that would suggest that. All the parts look the same. This mech was a little bit hard to get out of the doll, so I'm wondering if maybe there's just a defect with it. I don't know for sure. The problem with changing the mech is the lids have to be repainted if she wants them to still be gold. The eyelashes are most likely not going to be able to be removed and then put here, so we either want to leave these factory ones or change them. It seems very subtle, but actually when you look at this side too, on this mech you can see there's a little bit of a rim around the eye, and on this one that's not there. So another possibility that I'm thinking is maybe the eye chips in this doll were slightly larger than 14 millimeter, and maybe whoever the artist is or whoever did these eyes enlarged the eye hole. That's what I would predict happened. I wonder if we can get the eye out, one of these chips out, and see if that's the situation. I mean, it doesn't look like it. But it's just really strange that there's just enough difference to be making it look like this eye is kind of sunken in. So I think I'm going to let the customer know that I think the situation is not that the mech is faulty, it's that it's been altered, or maybe it was this way from the factory. And let's see what it looks like with one of my chips. So there's still, it's still farther in. So another option might be to just change the eyeballs on this mech. And if we can do that, then we can keep the lashes and the paint. So I think let's try that. Let's see how I want to do that. The easiest way is to just take, I think we can just take these off of here. Remember, they go back together like that. That way we don't have to disturb anything. This mech looks very strange though. It's got a lot of weird carving on it, it looks like, and I don't know, it felt like it was sort of stuck inside, like it's been altered a lot. It's not smooth on the ends, it's very strange. But if the eyeballs don't matter, if it's the eyeball issue, then we should be able to do that. So let's see. Part is getting all of these pieces in here without hurting anything. There we go. All right, let's see. think we're gonna have to just put it in and see what it looks like. Because it's hard to say. It looks better, but it was so subtle in the first place. I don't know, maybe my eyes are bad, but it definitely looked more obvious in the photos that she sent me than looking at it here in person. So just want to make sure that she feels like that's what she wanted done. So I think we'll go ahead and put it back in and see what it looks like. So it seems to me like this mech does not fit in this plate either. These ends are very long, so I'm gonna sand off a little bit of this one, I think, because it won't go in. Getting all twisted. Okay, let's see here. Here we go. So it still looks wonky. That eye is still going in. So I'm wondering, let's go ahead and change the whole mech since it still looks that way. And otherwise, the only other thing that I can think of is that maybe this faceplate itself was maybe molded in some way that is not the same size as the other plates, because this mech is really weird looking too and it does not fit. So we're gonna have to cut her strings off and also take these eyeballs back out of here since they go with the new mech. So let's cut our strings off and we'll start there. Okay, so we're gonna put these back in this one. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. So to me, it does not look any different. I'm gonna grab a doll to compare. So here is a factory doll with no alterations to her. And when we hold them side by side, it looks about the same to me. So I think what I'm gonna do, because I feel like I just can't really see it now, I'm gonna take a photo of the new mech and compare to the photo that the customer sent and see if it looks any different, because I'm not seeing any difference between the factory doll. The eyes look like they're in the same position. So I'm going to do a photo comparison, and we'll come back and see if that is maybe the issue, that it is fixed. So yeah, let's see. Alrighty, so here we are back with this doll, and I talked with her owner and sent her some photos of the new mech. And regardless of me not really seeing too much of a difference, I do think there is a bit of a difference from the other mech as far as when you're looking at the side view. But I don't see it as much as she does. But she wants me to go ahead and change the mech anyway. But as I said in the beginning of the video, if we change the mech, we no longer have the lashes of the original doll or the painted eyelids. So that presents the problem of, do you want new eyelashes and do you want the eyelids painted? And so she's decided that yes, she wants to change the mech, have me paint them. The old eyelids were gold and she would like to change it to pink, and change the eyelashes to some that she has chosen. So first we want to see how easily the lashes are going to come out. That first one came right out, and so did the second one, which is not very common. Normally with these mechs they have to soak and soak and soak. So that's good, because now we do not have to wait for the eyelashes to soak. So the next thing is the painting. So when you're going to paint pink, like with acrylic, you don't have to worry about spraying with Mr. Super Clear or anything like that. But I would sand the shine off and then clean it really well before applying paint. And because we have the eye chips in, I think we're going to go ahead and remove a pair so that we don't damage them. And I'm going to remove this pair because it was the one that kept falling out anyway. And I think we're going to glue it, at least that one. So let's take out this pair and set it aside for now. And that way we're going to go ahead and sand these lids with a high grit sandpaper, if I can find one. 1,000, 1,500, something like that, just to get the shine off. Should only take a second. And then we're going to choose a pink. Shouldn't really say what kind of pink, so I think we'll just go for the most neutral pink that I have. So I'm going to look through my paints. And then the other thing to remember when painting lids is oftentimes you do need to trim away the top a little bit of the eye socket to avoid it scraping, because there is nothing more irritating than spending time painting the lids perfectly and have them be scraped in the end by that top. So the sanding doesn't have to be perfect. We just don't want that shine because we want the paint to stick. And I'm not gonna wash them, but I'm gonna go wipe them off with a damp cloth so there's no dust, and we'll be ready to paint. So let me grab some paint. All right, so the eyelids are prepped to paint, and I have a couple paints here I'm gonna turn into pink. I'm probably not gonna talk much because, as usual, as soon as I get ready to record, the leaf blowers show up right outside my house, and it takes them forever to do the work around here. So I'm not going to talk, I'm just going to have you watch since I've pretty much explained everything. We're going to paint the lids with several layers. We're going to carve away a little bit up here so that it doesn't scrape. We'll seal them as well. When we're done with that, then we'll need to do the lashes and finish putting the eye chips in, and I'll come back when we get to that point. But for now, let's get the pink started. Alrighty, so I hope this is a color she likes, and I've let it dry really well, also to avoid scraping. So we're actually going to attach the lashes now as well. A lot of times when I'm doing a custom, I do that part last, but it is a little bit easier when the mech is out. So we're going to do it now. These are the lashes that she chose. So what I'm going to do is trim them from the center out so that we get them the same on each side, so they'll look the same. And so we're going to put the lashes in. We also have to figure out the strings, because the strings she had were, the beads were very high up, so we may have to add strings. I don't think we're going to completely change them. I'm not sure yet. So let's start with this and get these trimmed. Alright, I'm going to add a teeny tiny bit of glue in the corners. Just so the lashes don't fall out for some reason. Should not pull on the lashes anyway, unless you're wanting them to come out, so shouldn't need a massive amount of glue here. Just enough to hold it. Okay, now same with these eye chips. I'm gonna add a little glue to this pair since it seemed to want to fall out. Okay, so now the next thing is she asked about the eyes drooping a little bit when I took the photos of the mech in. Now the mech was not installed totally, it was just, I didn't put the T-bar in or anything like that, but I told her they wouldn't be droopy, and so we're gonna also do this just so that they're not at all for her. All right. So the other thing is the strings. So let me grab those. So what I'm thinking is, if these do not fit, which they shouldn't because they're not long enough, we can take off some of these purple ones, I think. And that way we do not have to completely rebead these since they're so well done. I don't know though. Looks like there's some kind of clamp type bead on here. I am not a beader, so I don't know enough about beading to know if that's, looks like that's something that holds the string. I've never seen that before. So if we can't get that off, which I have no idea how to, and I don't want to risk cutting the string even shorter, what I'm thinking is we should be able to tie some black to this string that will go inside and you won't see those knots. So let's grab some black string. All right, so what I'm thinking here is we can tie it here, and then we will put some glue on the knot. Normally, as I have said multiple times, I'm not into glue, but in this case it won't make a difference if we use glue, because if these ever need to be changed, it doesn't matter if this part is glued. So that way it should go inside like that. I don't know if this will work. I've never tried it, but I don't see why it wouldn't, as far as kind of extending the string. So we'll give it a try. Might not work, but it's worth a shot because I really don't want to rebead these strings since they look like they were done very well. Now we're going to have to be very careful to let it dry really well before we go putting it inside the doll, because I've already got a little bit there on my work surface. So I think we'll let this sit for a few minutes. We probably could go ahead and attach them to the mech, but I don't want to put them in the doll until I'm sure. So now remember, when strings are already beaded, it makes it a little bit harder. We have to go through the back plate so that the strings are on the outside. So let's get the back plate for that. All right. Oh, but that's the thing. I needed to do that before I tied my knots. Ugh. Well, I wonder if that knot will go through there. Nope. So let's see, let's redo that because I don't want to put them through the other hole. So let's try that again. Now on this end we can tie a knot, but our string is getting very small. We may end up just rebeading it, but let's try this. Because I'm not sure with that knot right there. I don't think that that will allow the mech to change. So I think we're going to have to rebead these. Darn it. Because I don't think there's enough space for that to pull the string out far enough. All right, well, I'm going to stop thinking about it. Let's just go ahead and plan to rebead these. So we're probably not going to be able to save that cool clampy thing because I don't have another one of those. And there's other parts down here on the bottom I'm not sure that I can replicate, but we will do the best that we can. So let's grab some string here. So let's see, I need a container for these. Or let's use this cloth. All right, so this bottom one, this is the only thing. It has this cool clampy thing on the end. So we may have to tie that onto the end, unless what I'm thinking is I'm just gonna do that, and then we will tie our string around the end here. I don't think I've never seen this, but again, as I said, I'm not a jewelry person, so I'm learning a lot more about beading and jewelry now, doing strings, but there. So this is like a clamp. I think I'm just gonna go like that on the end because that is the only way it makes sense to me. Okay, so I've got her strings rebeaded, and we should be able to just put her together now. So let's get the strings attached through the back plate and put her together, and hopefully everything will go smoothly and she'll work just fine. All right, so it looks like she's working, so that is excellent news. So let's get her hair on. Alrighty, so I'm going to send some photos to her owner before I put her back screws in, because there's no point if there's something that we have to change. Otherwise, I think this girl is done. I don't know if the problem of the gaze is corrected, but it is a brand new mech, and unless there's something wrong with the faceplate, if it's deformed in some way, that could be causing it. But I think it looks pretty symmetrical now. We'll see what she thinks when she sees it. So thanks as always for watching. I have another tutorial or another repair video in the works. It should be done soon with a different type of doll. A lot of these videos take me several days to make as we make corrections and send photos and all of that, so it can take me quite a long time to get a video done. I typically have quite a few in the works at the same time. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye!